Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck, working long hours, stressed because of unfulfilling work, every day the same work and no one values you? It's time to take control of your future and finances. In this video, I'm going to show you my step-by-step guide how to retire early and escape the rat race for good. Imagine waking up every morning with the freedom to do what you love without the financial stress holding you back. It's not just a dream, it is possible. And I'm going to show you exactly how to make it happen without any gimmicks or luck. And you have everything you need, a strong will and patience, because I'm not going to sell you some magical crypto get-rich scheme. Hey, I'm David. I've been studying personal finance for over 4 years, which will help me to exit the rat race in the near future. I have been working long hours, but if I ask my boss for some time off, I need to beg him on my knees. My life is not meant to live for work, stay there for plus 10 hours every day and see my family and loved ones less than my colleagues. So let's get out of this nonsense trap. The very first step is to learn about personal finance. It is necessary, but let me assure you, personal finance, it's not just about money. It is more about behavior and mindset. You need to know that this is going to be your new lifestyle. Let's get further. Dave Ramsey says finance is simple math. Every child understands it better than most adults. And he's right. We need to have two numbers, which we're going to subtract from each other. The first number is your income. The second are your expenses. And all we need to do is to subtract them. And the goal is to have a green number there, because if there's a red one, you will be stuck in the rat race forever. So, collect all your numbers, write them down every single day, day in, day out, every single month. You want to know where all your money is going and hiding. The simple goal is to increase your income and decrease your expenses. You might go out for dinner every 3 days. What's the 30 bucks here and there? It's not much. But if you look at the big picture, it's a 300 bucks every month just for eating out, or around 3,500 bucks every year. If you want to find an additional 3,500, you can find it in your budget. That does not mean that you cannot eat out once in a while. I do it too with my partner. We might go out once or twice per month because it fits in our budget. I want you to know that the budget is not to take the fun out of your life. It's there to find the right balance. Because you cannot live like a king if you don't have the money of one.
King in the castle, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair.
But we're working on that. If you want to learn more about budgeting, there's a huge community. But I like to keep it simple and just want to focus on keeping unnecessary costs down and spending my money more wisely. Step 2. As just talked about, I want to get my expenses low. Why not just skip in this part and focus on increasing my money? Because if I cannot handle my money when I don't have much, I won't be able to control it when I have lots of it. Look at all the big NBA or NFL stars. They had millions and millions of dollars. And a few years later, you hear that they're broke. How can they blow $300 million? Well, it's because they cannot control their spending behavior. Another big problem is the lifestyle creep or lifestyle inflation. If your gap between your income and expenses be constantly the same, how are you able to get out of the rat race? Wouldn't it be smarter if your money would look more like this? But we can never cut our expenses to zero. And that's why we need to increase our income. But first, we need to tackle one more aspect. You cannot retire early with personal debt. I'm not talking about mortgages. I'm talking more about car loans and especially credit card debt. The average interest rate for credit card debt is 19%. That's more than the annual return of the S&P 500. If you have credit card debt, you're hustling backwards, trying to impress people who do not care about you with money you don't have. I'm not an expert on debt because I always stayed away from debt, but there are two options on how to pay them off. But firstly, you need to figure out all your debts and write them down. So, option 1, the snowball method, where you pay off your lowest debt. This will be mathematically slower, but you will achieve your first financial wins, and this will help building your money confidence. The second option is called the debt avalanche. we will hit the debt with the highest interest rate and pay it off. This is the quicker option to get out of the endless debt cycle. You choose whatever suits you best. Now we're talking about the income side of the budget. As we can never cut our costs to zero, we need to increase our income to increase the gap between income and expenses. Here's some examples which might help you. Remember, this is just a general advice, hence I do not know your personal situation and skill set. So you could start a side hustle, selling stuff on Etsy or selling a specific skill on Fiverr. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of side hustles because they can bring in a quick buck, but you're still renting your time for a really low hourly wage, and this is tough to scale. Next option would be to ask for a raise at work. This might sound nice in theory, but I know from my personal situation, most bosses are not happy to just pay more, unless you're the star player. And still, they're just paying you enough so you will stay and not trying to pursue your own career. But there is another one, which is pretty similar. And I can tell you from my personal experience that I did it several times. This is more applicable to younger people and not to the older ones, because we're jumping jobs. Look, most companies do not care if you get sick tomorrow and are unable to work. They will replace you in a couple of seconds. So why would you stay loyal? Try to jump to a better job, position, or just a better paycheck. And also remember what Robert Kiyosaki said, work to learn and not to earn. But what you should consider is to learn specific skills which are in demand. Especially in the content creator era. For YouTube, you can learn skills like video editing, creating thumbnails, etc. But there is more. You can learn online how to code. And there are many online courses out there who will keep you accountable and speed up your learning curve. And the last option, the option I'm considering, is to start your own business, which you can scale and will compound over the future with all the skills you learned. You might be able to scale a side hustle into your own business as well. But as I said, most side gigs are just a quick dollar. Great, now we learned about personal finance, learned a good money hygiene, stayed out of debt, decreased our expenses, increased our income. We are ready now to learn about investing. We want every penny to work for us, even when we sleep, so that we don't need to work in the future anymore. Because, as Warren Buffett, my hero, said it, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. There are many vehicles: the stock market, real estate, currencies, or crypto. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of currencies trading or crypto trading. But I'm a big fan of the stock market, especially of the US stock market. And that's why I invest in the S&P 500, the 500 biggest publicly traded US companies like Amazon, Tesla, or Apple. The S&P 500 had the last 70 years an annual return of 10%. But remember, these are historical numbers and cannot predict the future. And if you want to learn more about investing in the S&P 500, then check out my other videos, because I'm a big fan of it and it's one of my biggest investing vehicles. Okay, now we learned it all. We learned about personal finance, we learned to decrease our expenses, we learned about getting rid of our debt, learned about increasing our income, and invest the money to grow our wealth. And here comes the last step. Repeat until rich. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for staying till the end, and please subscribe for more. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments so I can answer them in the next video. And if you want to learn more about investing in the S&P 500, check this video out.